Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, Peter, good morning.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Tomorrow is a holiday, Sunday again, you have a holiday. So, sheet for your half yearlies, Peter. Okay? So that is somewhere 9
Ma'am,
to 10.
Saturday also it's off.
Yes, Peter?
Ma'am, Saturday also it's a holiday.
No, Saturday is not a holiday. But most of the students I've seen, they disappear since Sunday is Raksha Bandhan. So many families move from one station to another or something like that. I was planning tomorrow we have a holiday, so tomorrow we'll have time. I'll try and compile the syllabus from all the teachers and post the syllabus and the date sheet by tomorrow. So you'll be able to plan your half yearlies, you'll be able to study. Because we have only this week, then after this week we have holidays again from 1st to 5th September. And after that you have half yearlies. If you'd see, this is the only working week we have. That's all. We don't have time. Only this week we have working. After this, we'll have holidays first in September. We'll start with half yearlies. Only these, the coming week that we have beta. Only that week we have with us. If you see for the half yearlies. So tighten up your seatbelt, start studying now. Syllabus is quite reduced, so nothing to worry. Let's start now. We were doing this. I have already done this with you. This part we did, nucleoside, nucleotides, we talked about them. Structure, Chargaff rule. This we did yesterday. Packaging is what we were doing. This is what? This is nucleoid or nucleosome?
Nucleoid.
Nucleoid. And this is?
Nucleosome.
Many nucleosomes in this bead or string structure. What is this called?
Chromatin.
A string, and these nucleosomes are like beads. So this is the structure. Chromatin threads come closer, they coil, they condense, and what are formed from chromatin finally? What are formed? Chromosomes. We talked about chromatin, two types. Which kind of chromatin is this? Euchromatin or heterochromatin?
Euchromatin.
Euchromatin.
And you see here very far from each other. This part is euchromatin, very closely packed. This one, this is heterochromatin. Okay, I hope you are okay.
Yes,
You are confident about all this. Should I move on to the next slide?
yes, ma'am.
Who is not? Raise your hand. Who is not able to unmute? Somebody sent me a message. I'm not able to check.
Ma'am, it's Sony.
Okay, Sony. Fine, just 1 second. Sony, is it okay now? Wait, just give me 1 second. By the time and join again. Probably this would help you out. Join again because I've checked there. Nothing, no issues. You can leave and join again. Okay, beta. Search for genetic material. I had discussed this experiment, mice wala, you remember? What strains were these? S strain and?
R strain.
Yes, S strain and R strain. Then we talked about this transforming principle. So he took mice and what was this?
Streptococcus pneumoniae.
You need to remember it is Streptococcus pneumoniae. Okay, let's have this. Now the second experiment we are moving on to. After Griffith's experiment, it is this. Oswald Avery, Oswald MacLeod and McCarty. They wanted to find out the nature of the transforming principle in Griffith's experiment. Now Griffith said that there is a transforming principle. There is something which passes on from one strain to the another strain, and that is the genetic material. But what is the transforming thing made up of? Griffith could not tell anything about that. So these people, basically, we have Oswald, MacLeod, and McCarty. They try to find out that what is the nature of this transforming principle. What is it? Is it an RNA? Is it a DNA? Or is it a protein? They had three options in mind: DNA, RNA, and proteins. They knew that either of them is going to be this genetic material, but which out of these three was not clear to them. So they tried this experiment with all three of them. They purified these biochemicals. They purified all the things, proteins, DNA, and RNA, from the heat-killed S cells. Where did they take this from? Which cells of Griffith experiment?
Heat killed S cells.
So basically, S cells means we are taking the smooth one or the rough one?
Smooth ones.
Smooth one. If you remember, smooth one is virulent or not?
Virulent.
So they took the S cells, heat-killed S cells, and with the help of certain enzymes, they took protein, DNA, and RNA from these cells, heat-killed S cells only. With the help of some enzymes, they extracted and purified them. What happened now? They discovered that, number one, digestion of protein and RNA using proteases and RNases did not affect the transformation. But if you digest the proteins, we use enzyme proteases. Proteases will digest all the proteins. And we use RNases. RNases will digest all the RNA. And then again, they did the same experiment that Griffith did. So they saw that transformation में जो भी whatever process Griffith talked about, उसमें कोई change नहीं आ रहा था. So the transforming principle was certainly not RNA or protein, because protein को पहले destroy कर दिया. Protein is already digested by whom? Proteases. That means protein was not being transferred. RNases were also digested by RNA was digested by RNases. After protein is also digested, after RNA is also digested, still transformation हो रहा है. The transforming principle which Griffith talked about कि कोई चीज ऐसी है जो ट्रांसफॉर्म होके जा रही है तो वो अभी भी हो रहा था. That means it was very clear that transforming substance was not a protein, it was not even an RNA. If you see over here, okay, digestion of DNA with DNase inhibited transformation. Then we took which enzyme? Which are we taking? DNase. This will digest DNA. So once DNAs were digested, transformation did not take place. इसका मतलब जो भी transformation आ रहा था of R cells to S cells, so it was being because of what? DNA, RNA or proteins?
DNA.
DNA. See this experiment. He said there is some transforming principle, this transforming principle, which is transferred from S strain to R strain. तो बेटा एस स्ट्रेन में से कुछ आर स्ट्रेन में जा रहा है, लेकिन क्या जा रहा है ये हमें नहीं पता था. बस ग्रिफिथ ने ये बोला कि एस स्ट्रेन से कुछ ट्रांसफॉर्म होके आर में जाएगा. So they had three options: DNA, RNA, or protein. So they said, chalo, first they digested all the proteins, then they did the transforming thing. जो experiment था वो बिल्कुल as it is हुआ, कोई change नहीं आया. Then they digested RNAs, तो भी कोई change नहीं आया. But when the DNAs were digested, then transformation did not take place. That means, what acts as the transforming principle of the genetic material? Yes, it is the DNA. See over here, they have taken proteases. They will digest the proteins, so no proteins are left. So when this will be added, S cells still appear. RNases will digest RNA, so no RNA is there, but still we are getting S cells. But if DNases digest DNA and there is no DNA, then we will not get S cells. That means no transformation will take place. R cells will not change into S cells. यहाँ पे तो देखो बेटा, ये R cells add हो रहे हैं, बाहर S cells वाला कोटिंग बन गया, यानी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हुआ, प्रोटीन के बिना भी हुआ. Here also R cells are changing into S cells. That means transformation यहाँ भी हुआ, दो RNA नहीं था. But now when we added R cells did not change to S cells because what was not present? DNA was not present. Okay, so that shows that transformation जो हो रहा था, that was because of protein, RNA or DNA?
DNA.
So keep in mind, Griffith did not tell us that DNA is a genetic material. He simply said कि there is something which passes on, जिसके कारण R cells S type बन जाते हैं. But what is that? That he could not tell us, and that was told by these three gentlemen. We have them on your screens: Ostwald, McCarthy, and MacLeod. Now the third experiment we are coming to. Hershey-Chase blender experiment. What did they do? They first grew some bacteriophage viruses in a medium which contained radioactive phosphorus, okay, and some others on medium containing radioactive sulfur. They have taken two mediums, beta. One medium which contains radioactive phosphorus, that is P32, and one other medium they took which contains radioactive sulfur, that is S35. And in both of these mediums, they grew some bacteriophage viruses. Okay, they grew some viruses in these two mediums. Now, what did they find? Those viruses which grow in phosphorus radioactive P32, they got a radioactive DNA because only DNA contains phosphorus. बेटा देखो, हमने phosphorus में भी grow करा, हमने sulfur में भी grow करा. तो हमने क्या देखा? Those viruses जिनको हमने phosphorus में grow करा, उनका DNA radioactive. Their DNA became what? Radioactive, because DNA contains what? DNA contains phosphorus. So that radioactive phosphorus must be absorbed by the DNA, क्योंकि DNA में तो phosphorus है. So that is why DNA radioactive हुआ. But viruses which grew in sulfur, उनमें DNA did not become radioactive. What became radioactive was the proteins, because proteins contain what? What do proteins contain? Sulfur. Let us do this. So this is a medium which contains sulfur 32. Sulfur. So which one you think will become radioactive in case of sulfur? Will it be DNA or will it be proteins? With sulfur.
Protein.
Proteins.
Very good. And now this is the one which contains radioactive phosphorus. Then which one will become radioactive?
DNA.
Over here you see this is DNA, these are proteins. Proteins became radioactive. In sulfur, DNA did not become. In this case, we are getting what? We are getting radioactive proteins because protein contains what?
Sulfur.
Sulfur. So this is whose experiment? Hershey and Chase. They basically proved one thing, very simple thing, that DNA contains phosphorus and proteins contain.
Sulfur.
Please be clear about this. That is all that they did. Okay, Hershey and Chase. We are going to have a little more about it later. Yes, tell me. DNA contains.
Phosphorus.
Yes, and proteins contain.
Sulfur.
sulfur,
Now, these preparations were used to separately infect E. coli. Now we have one radioactive DNA, and what is the other thing we had?
Radioactive protein.
radioactive,
Now, separately, they did the experiment. They said, Chalo, let us try and infect E. coli with both of them. We can take one strain which contains radioactive DNA, and we have another strain which contains radioactive protein. Let us try and infect E. coli with this. So they infected them, they injected them. This was injected, okay? And after this, it was gently agitated in a blender. This is the DNA and proteins that you have. Gently you mix it up in a blender to remove the virus particles from the bacteria. Why are we mixing, or why is this blending being done?
to remove virus particle from bacteria.
Yes, beta. If there's any virus particle, we are removing it from the bacteria. And then what you get, whatever after this process, after removing the virus particle, then we centrifuge it. Okay? Centrifuge. What is centrifugation? What is the difference between blending and centrifugation?
In centrifugation, the heavier particles they separate out.
We rotate them again at a high speed only, but on the weight they get separated. Like at home, you must have seen. जब हम लोग मिल्क या मलाई वाला चीज रोटेट करते हैं at a very high speed, cold coffee or anything, fruit, lighter thing comes up and the heavier thing remains down only. So we are centrifuging this to separate the lighter virus from the heavier bacterial cells. First, beta, we try to remove virus like this, but in case some viruses are still left, so we are going to centrifuge. If you will centrifuge, then the concept is virus is lighter and bacterial cells are heavier. So we will be easily able to separate the viruses which are still left because viruses are lighter and bacterial cells are, yes, heavy. So you will have bacterial cells here. Bacteria which was infected with viruses having radioactive DNAs were radioactive. Now those bacteria in which we infected those viruses which had a radioactive DNA, okay, they were radioactive. Matlab, DNA had passed on from virus to bacteria. What passed on from the virus to bacteria? We took which kind of a DNA?
Radioactive.
Radioactive,
So when we saw that those bacteria which were infected with those viruses which had radioactive DNA, that bacteria was radioactive. That means DNA had passed from virus to bacteria. But second case, when we infected the viruses with radioactive proteins, we saw that these bacteria did not become radioactive. Why? Because proteins did not enter the bacteria from the viruses. From the virus, what entered the bacteria? DNA. What could not enter the bacteria was proteins. So कौन बेटा enter कर पा रहा है? It is DNA. और कौन enter नहीं कर पा रहा है?
Proteins.
Proteins are not able to enter. So what are they trying to say? See this. This is what they have done. We are infecting both. In one case, we have taken this radioactive protein. In other case, we have taken radioactive DNA. And then we are infecting. First step. देखो बेटा bacteriophage लिया है. First case, we are injecting or infecting it with radioactive proteins. Second case, we are infecting with radioactive DNA. First case में दोनों में infection होने देंगे, blending होगा, centrifugation होगा. After centrifugation, you will see, let's see this, there is no radioactive sulfur detected in the cells. But here, you will find that radioactivity is detected in the cells. So what passes on? DNA or proteins? What is carrying the radioactivity from one to another? Was it DNA which could carry or was it proteins?
DNA.
Because we said DNA passes from virus to bacteria, but proteins do not pass. So their conclusion was again, the only difference between Hershey-Chase experiment and MacLeod experiment was they took three options. They took DNA, RNA and proteins, and they concluded that no, protein is not genetic material, RNA is not genetic material, only what passes on is DNA. But beta, when we talked about the next experiment, they are not considering RNA at all. They only considered and did the experiments on two things. Which ones? DNA and
proteins.
DNA and proteins. Only DNA and proteins. Their focus was not on RNA. And they proved that out of DNA and proteins, which one is the genetic material?
DNA.
So we talked about genetic material. Then we said a genetic material must have the following properties. Number one, replication power should be there. It should be able to make a copy of itself. This is known as replication. It should be stable chemically and structurally. It should provide the mutations needed for evolution. Although it is stable, but at times certain changes or mutations should be there so that evolution continues. And it should be expressed, they should express as Mendelian characters. They should follow all the Mendel's laws. Although we're going to have exceptions about this later. So these are the 4 characteristics according to these people that a genetic material should have. It should be able to replicate. It should be able to make its own copy. It should be stable chemically, structurally, and it should be able to give mutations. Certain changes should be allowed so that evolution can continue. And last of all, it should be able to express as Mendelian characters. Basically, what we are trying to say is that it should follow all the laws of whom? Mendel. Okay.
Mendel.
What is this, child? This is a double-stranded DNA. Okay, we have taken a UV photon, ultraviolet light ka photon, one particle, UV photon we have. Can you see the bonds are breaking over here? These hydrogen bonds which are present between these base pairs, can you see the bonds breaking?
Yes, ma'am.
Because of the energy which who has brought? This UV
UV photon.
bonds are breaking now. Okay, see. So your double-stranded DNA is going to separate and become a single-stranded RNA. This process is known as
Transcription.
Is it okay for everybody? There should be no confusion between transcription and translation. Now, you had a double-stranded DNA, any kind of energy. Here we have shown a photon is going to break these bonds which hold them together. So this double-stranded DNA is going to break into a single-stranded structure, RNA. This process is transcription. RNA will again undergo certain processes which I'll be talking about with you very soon. And it will form a chain of amino acids. This process is called translation. And then amino acids will get folded up in specific structures and form proteins. So when we say formation of proteins, it's a long process. DNA transcription to break into RNA, RNA translation to form amino acid chain, and amino acids folding to form proteins. Later, don't get confused in this, though we are going to take up this topic in detail just now. Reasons why DNA is more stable and RNA is reactivity. Let's talk about stability and reactivity. See, beta, this is less reactive because it is more stable. DNA is more stable, that is why it is what? Less reactive. RNA is less stable, so it is high reactive. First reason why it is more stable and less reactive, it is double stranded. आप देखो बेटा यहाँ पे DNA is double stranded and RNA is single stranded. So obviously ये ज़्यादा stable होगा. और जो ज़्यादा stable होगा वो कम reactive होगा. You've seen this in chemistry when you talk about stability of gases and all. Okay? Anything which is stable will be less reactive. Inert rather. चलिए second. DNA has the presence of thymine. And here we have what in place of this?
Uracil.
Uracil.
Uracil presence makes RNA highly reactive. It makes it more reactive than thymine because uracil is more reactive than thymine. So this is the second reason that we have. Third reason I already did with you yesterday when I told you about the presence of an extra OH group on which carbon?
In carbon.
Second.
In the second carbon in RNA or DNA?
RNA.
RNA.
If you see DNA, we do not have OH on the second carbon. Normal hydrogen है बेटा यहाँ, ठीक है? यहाँ पे सिर्फ ये वाला OH आपको दिख रहा है, एक यहाँ पे OH, ये देखो एक OH ये है, एक OH थर्ड कार्बन पे. बट यहाँ पे थर्ड कार्बन पे OH ऑलरेडी है. फर्स्ट कार्बन पे भी देखो यहाँ पे फर्स्ट कार्बन पे OH है, सेकंड पे H एंड फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड पे अगर आप देखो यू हैव OH here. यहाँ पे आप देखो फर्स्ट पे तो है, थर्ड पे भी है, एक एडिशनल OH है ऑन विच कार्बन?
Second.
Second.
OH is a functional group, reactive functional group, and that is the reason RNA becomes more reactive and less stable. So we have three reasons. If you have this picture in your mind, you'll be able to easily tell. First is because this is single-stranded. Second, because it has what?
Thymine.
This has thymine and this has
Uracil.
uracil. Uracil is more reactive, obviously. And the third reason we have already discussed. What was it? The presence of what?
Extra OH group.
So these are the three reasons on your screen why RNA is more reactive. RNA is unstable. We just said that RNA is very reactive and it is less stable. DNA is stable. RNA is unstable. So all the RNA viruses, they mutate and evolve faster. Can you tell me why RNA viruses, they mutate so quickly? Tell me the reason we've just discussed. Yes, children. Why do they mutate so quickly?
It is more reactive.
Ma'am, because they are unstable.
Yes, bache. Very good. It is unstable. Okay. Now see this. You have, you, what I, you, everybody in the world is facing these days coronavirus. Okay. And we always hear, we have a new strain coming up, Delta, Alpha, Beta. So you agree it is mutating very quickly?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So that means it is an RNA virus or a DNA virus?
RNA.
Yes. Remember that the COVID virus that we have these days, this is a positive stranded RNA virus. This is an RNA virus. So it mutates very quickly. We took vaccination and now we are again concerned that some more strain has come. It has evolved, it has mutated. So we don't know which time back again which or mutation ले लेगा वो. That is what we need to know, the difference between DNA and RNA viruses. If a virus is an RNA virus, it is more dangerous because वो stable नहीं है बेटा. वो इतनी जल्दी mutate करेगा, उसमें इतने सारे changes आ जाते हैं. So that is one problem. And it is believed that around 55 to 60 million years, say we have RNA viruses in the universe. It's already there. बहुत time हो गया. Now we also know the DNA strands are complementary. Is it okay? Now we are heating a DNA double strand. They will separate it. There I showed you the energy of a photon. Here we are using what energy to separate DNA strands? So we are heating them. देखिए ऊपर का part unwind हो गया और heat करिए नीचे का part भी unwind हो गया. You will get two separate strands. Okay. In Griffith's experiment, अच्छा, and if you cool it, then again they will come closer and form a double helix. In Griffith's experiment, some properties of the DNA of the heat-killed bacteria did not destroy. He killed by them by heat, but still some properties of DNA were not destroyed despite the fact that it was killed, because we know that DNA is what? Stable or unstable?
Stable.
DNA is stable. That is the reason that even on heating, properties of DNA did not get destroyed because DNA is quite stable. For storing genetic information, now we are going to discuss which one is better. DNA is better or RNA is better? DNA is better because it has stability. Beta, always remember for storage, to DNA better hai, but for transmission, RNA is better. Because RNA is very reactive. Agar transmit karna hai genetic information, it has to be passed on transmission. Then we should take what? Any kind of transmission has to be done. Then RNA should be better. One more advantage of RNA is that RNA can directly code for protein synthesis. But DNA cannot directly code for protein synthesis. DNA first needs to change into RNA. only then it can cause the formation of proteins. I just showed you this here. RNA is directly coding for proteins, if you see. Isn't it? RNA will go translation, amino acids and proteins. But DNA cannot directly make proteins. DNA first has to perform transcription to change into RNA. Only then proteins can be made. So these are the two advantages or plus points of RNA. That transmission, better work RNA can do. And second, which genetic material can directly code for protein synthesis, children?
RNA.
Can DNA directly code for protein synthesis? See on your screens, can DNA code for protein synthesis directly?
No.
No. It has to first depend on whom?
RNA.
RNA.
Yes, beta. DNA will depend on RNA for protein synthesis. We have done a lot about DNA. Let's talk about RNA. RNA was the first genetic material. DNA was discovered later. First genetic material was RNA discovered only. It acts as a genetic material also and as a catalyst also. It is essential in life processes like metabolism, translation, splicing, etc. I'll be coming to all these terms very quickly. And DNA evolved from RNA only from stability. पहले बेटा RNA ही था, but वो stable नहीं था. एक ही problem था. That was not stable. So for stability, वो single stranded RNA, double stranded हुआ होगा probably. So what evolved from what? RNA from DNA or DNA from RNA?
DNA from RNA.
Yes, and most probably this was done because of stability. Let's talk about the central dogma of molecular biology proposed by Francis Crick. Yesterday, that day, I think, I talked about central dogma and I asked you if anyone knows about it. So बेटा कुछ भी नहीं है, यही जो मैंने अभी आपको समझाया. जेनेटिक इंफॉर्मेशन ऐसे चलता है, डीएनए टू आरएनए, आरएनए टू प्रोटीन्स, ये अभी बताया था. डीएनए undergoes transcription to form RNA. RNA will translate into proteins. Is it okay? Central dogma. Exactly what we have done just now. कुछ भी बड़ा चीज नहीं है. ठीक है? Let's do this. Central dogma. In some viruses, the flow of information is in reverse direction. I told you information flows from DNA to RNA beta. Lekin there are some viruses like HIV. Okay, this is one example, HIV. Here the information does not flow from DNA to RNA, ulta chalta hai. It goes from RNA to DNA. So this kind of a transcription is called reverse transcription. What is it called?
Reverse
Reverse
transcription.
transcription.
See, if from DNA it is going to RNA, here it is written, what is this process? This is transcription. But agar ye ulta ho jaye, RNA to DNA, then we are going to call it as reverse
Reverse
transcription.
transcription.
ये जो है बेटा डीएनए टू आरएनए ये ट्रांसक्रिप्शन है, बट अगर ट्रांसक्रिप्शन अगर आरएनए टू डीएनए हो जाएगा देन वी गोइंग टू कॉल इट एज रिवर्स ट्रांसक्रिप्शन. सी दिस इज द नॉर्मल केस. ये नॉर्मल है जो ग्रीन वाला है. डीएनए ट्रांसक्रिप्शन, आरएनए विल बी फॉर्म, आरएनए में ट्रांसलेशन होगा, व्हाट विल बी फॉर्म?
Protein.
प्रोटीन्स. बट अगर उल्टा हो जाए, आरएनए इज changing to DNA, then what is this transcription called as?
Reverse transcription.
Name one virus which undergoes reverse transcription.
HIV.
HIV. So everybody's understood what is reverse transcription. See, this is transcription. DNA, transcription, RNA. If you see, हमने उल्टा arrow भी लगा रखा. That means RNA can change to, it can pass information to DNA. So अगर DNA to RNA transcription है, then RNA to DNA is, what is it?
Reverse transcription.
Yes, this is called reverse transcription. DNA replication, what do we mean by replication? Making a copy of the parent DNA is what we call as replication. Watson and Crick, they proposed a model of replication which is known as the semi-conservative model. What does it mean? It suggests that the parental DNA strands act as templates for the synthesis of the new complementary strands. After replication, each DNA molecule has one parental and one new strand. देखो, ये हमारा जो blue वाला है ये parent DNA है. Is it okay? Let's see this. Understand what does semi-conservative model of replication say. See, this is the parent DNA, and because of some energy or heat, we are breaking it into two strands. ये जो blue वाला दिख रहा है, ये one single strand हो गया of the parent DNA, और ये दूसरा strand आ गया. Replication हो रहा है, एक और strand बन रहा है, ये नए strands हैं red वाले. These red ones, जो double single stranded को double stranded कर रहे हैं, these are the new strands. ये जो old वाले strands हैं, जो parent DNA के हैं, they act as templates. इसी को देख देख के bases का match होगा. Like we said, A is going to make with T and all that. So this is going to act as a template. इसी के according यहाँ पे nitrogenous base pairs लगते चले जाएंगे, and then your single strand will become a double strand. तो ये आपके दो DNA बन गए, new DNA, two daughter DNAs. From one DNA we have got how many daughter DNAs? Two. If you see these two new daughter DNAs have one blue color chain. This is the parent strand DNA, and one is the new strand. जो कौन से color का है आपका? Red. So we are conserving the parent DNA, but not totally. Both the DNA strands are not coming from the parent. एक ही strand आ रहा है बेटा, एक तो नया बन रहा है. So we are conserving the parent DNA, but not totally. We are conserving it half. That is why this is semi-conservative model. Semi means आधा. आधा conserve कर पा रहे हैं हम लोग parent DNA. ये parent DNA blue वाला है. ये नया strand बन गया. So these are the two new daughter DNAs. अगर आप ध्यान से देखो, in a new DNA, 50% is the parental strand, blue wala, and 50% is the new strand. So yes, we are conserving the parental DNA, but not completely. We are conserving half. That is why we call this model as which model?
Semi-conservative model.
It has got how many parental strands?
One.
This blue one is the one parental, and this one red one is the new strand. I hope you've understood. This was a parent DNA. We are breaking it. This is a single strand. एक इधर चला गया, एक इधर चला गया. According, this is a template. इसको देख के दूसरा strand बनेगा. If we have A over here, we're going to have a T base over here. If we have C over here, then वो match करके. And you're getting another one over here. ये new strand. So from one DNA strand, after breaking, you've got how many DNAs now?
2.
Yes. And these two new will have half of the parent strand and half of the new strand. That means it's semi-conservative. So they proposed this model, Watson and Crick, but they just proposed it beta on papers. जैसा हमने आपको दिखा दिया, आपको समझा दिया. This is proposing, but the proving part was done by these two gentlemen, Meselson and Stahl. They proved this model. So please don't get confused. Proposing of a model and proving of a model are different. So if at all you have options in exams for this, whichever exam you're going for, proposing the semi-conservative model was the work of Watson and Crick. But proving they did not do. I see most of the students very quickly. Immediately when they see semi-conservative model, they tick on Watson and Crick. This is wrong. You should read the question very carefully. Are they asking you that who proposed the model, or are they asking you who proved this model? They just showed it on papers like I have shown the chart to you, but there is no proof for this. Okay, if I would have said no, this is wrong. ऐसा नहीं होता है. यहाँ पे 3 strands होंगे, 4 होंगे, यहाँ पे 90% parental है. So कहने से क्या हो रहा है? This is just proposing. Proposing was done by Watson and Crick, and who proved this semi-conservative model? Meselson and Stahl. Who proved it, children? Meselson and Stahl. Yes. Tomorrow is a holiday. Well, let's meet on Saturday, children. Okay. Your class is over. No time left now. Okay, beta. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you.